Welcome again to the Chapter 1 podcast, your inside look for the people powering Charlotte. Real stories, real entrepreneurs right here in the Queen City. We're excited. We got a great guest on for you today. This is Gloria Paul, and she owns A Greener Clean. And so, Gloria, we'd love to get to know your story. Let's start at Chapter 1. How did you wind up here in the Queen City?
So I was 18 years old, getting married, and my new husband found a job locally. I didn't know anyone here. We moved here so he could get work, and yep, that's about it. We've been here ever since.
Awesome. So where did you start before Charlotte?
In Georgia, near
Okay.
Augusta.
Awesome. And so you find your way to Charlotte. What were you doing at the time? Was it just were you just hoping to be a stay-at-home mom, and then the business thing came later? Were you already involved in cleaning type services? How did that work?
I did not start cleaning until I became a mom. So we were married about 7 years. I was working full-time, going to school at Mitchell Community College. And in 2010, graduated with my associate's degree in business. Decided to start my own company about a year later. So my son was a baby.
So was it having to go through the parenting process that you were like, hey, I'm really good at cleaning. Like, I've got to do this all the time. Did that help at all?
I did. The cleaning seemed so simple back then. I got a lot better at it after I did it professionally, of course. But yeah, becoming a mom and just struggling with trying to earn an income, but yet take care of my kid and all the stress of that just that pushed me into, okay, I need to figure out something where I have more control over my daily schedule.
So was that the first thought? I mean, when you found yourself in that situation, was it just, I want to start something and this is what I want to start? Did it begin there? Was there a bit of a journey that took you to the place where you're at now? Or was it the first thing you thought of?
I was brainstorming a little bit, but I was working in an office and somehow it came up, the discussion of who was cleaning the building. And so when I found out, we have an office cleaner and she comes in the evening and she gets paid XYZ. And I said, oh, yeah, I could do that. And the original thought was commercial cleaning in the evening, and then I could be a stay-at-home mom during the day. But it evolved into something.
And it was exactly how you planned. Nothing changed. That's exactly how the story goes, right?
I found out I did not like working nights and weekends. So house cleaning just came more easy. I could find clients easier. And I liked the schedule of doing it during the day. So we still, would clean some office accounts on the weekends here and there. And to this day, I still have a few small offices that we do. But we primarily focus on the Monday through Friday, the house cleaning.
Awesome. So before we kind of deep dive into the business side of things, what are some things that you like to do outside of work? Like when you are not doing this, and it sounds like you're driven and this is a passion of yours, is life outside of that just 100% mom? Do you have passions and hobbies of your own?
I do. Spending time with family is number one, and making adventures. So we like to travel. We like to go places. This past weekend, I took my daughter and my mom to the Biltmore House in Asheville.
I still haven't been to that. Everybody here, so I'm not originally from here. I'm from Miami, and so I came here. Everybody's like, have you been to the Biltmore? I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
It's like the number one North Carolina thing.
It's
right?
a big thing
it's
from what I
thing.
hear. So
Yeah.
Is this the first time you'd been?
Oh, we have season pass.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the first things we did as a married couple,
You were like, let's go see a
20
super
years
expensive
ago,
house.
And I just, so I've been many times over the years. I love it.
From what I understand, and maybe you can educate me a little bit, it's a super expensive mansion essentially, and you get to go kind of explore it and like walk along like the grounds and the lawn, and then what do you have, like picnics there or something? Like how does that work?
There's some really good food there.
Okay, so they actually have they serve.
You can bring your own and have a picnic, sure.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I literally don't know, but I hear so many things about the Biltmore.
Yeah,
so.
there's some restaurants and a little village built. The property's huge.
Okay.
There's a lot to do. Very scenic, so it's beautiful.
So how does this compare to Georgia? Because I have a very different experience from like Miami to Charlotte. Is this more similar? Is it kind of like, it just feels like Georgia?
There is so many pine trees in Georgia. I don't know. I just feel I like North Carolina where we're at. I feel like Charlotte area, you're not too far to get to the mountains, not too few hours away from the coast.
It's like the prime realtor thing to say.
It's perfect.
We have the mountains and the water right there. They're both 2 hours away.
And I feel like it's not as humid.
It's not as humid or humid?
Yeah, humid.
Okay.
Like, yeah. It's still hot in the summer.
That's how I feel when people talk about the humidity here in Charlotte, and I'm like, I'm from Miami. You have no idea. Like, yes, it can get humid, but believe me, it could get a lot worse.
Oh, yeah. So me and my daughter went in July. We went to Miami.
First time?
No.
Okay.
But first time actually spending a few days there.
Okay.
Besides like flying in just to go somewhere else.
Sure.
And we went to the Everglades and did some fun things. Yes, it was very hot.
That's hot. But it's awesome, right?
But it's awesome.
I love it. I'm biased.
Yeah.
I love Miami.
So yeah, doing those little adventures, like and Sunday we went to the Panthers game as a family.
Oh, nice. Well, they actually won for a change.
Yes,
My goodness. Wow.
it was good. It was fun.
Poor Charlotte sports. All right. So when you started your company, and remember the timeline, you get married, you have your kid, you're starting to think, okay, I want to work more in the evenings, and it transforms a little bit to where you're working more during the daytimes doing residential stuff. What was your initial thought when you started your company? What was your thought process on, besides just the evening in comparison to the daytime working, what were other thoughts you had and conceptions you had, and how did that change a little bit when you first started your company?
At first, it was just a necessity. I was needing grocery money. So I was just concerned about how I need to pay my bills and, get through the month. That was all I was thinking about. And eventually I hired my first employee and started thinking, well, we could do a little bit more, and it could be some, so the first few years really was just focused on, hey, what do I need just to get by?
And how did that beginning process look? Like, if somebody else was sitting here going, man, I want to start a commercial cleaning company, what do those first steps look like? Because it sounds like, with you hiring your first employee, things are going well, but I imagine that getting off the ground phase, might have looked ugly. What was that whole phase like for you?
So we're talking 15 years ago, and Facebook was not what it is like today.
I was going to say, the marketing question is going to be weird than 15 years ago.
So it was different. And although I had that business background, so the whole bookkeeping, payroll, hiring, that didn't scare me. I talked to a lot of people that are in business for themselves, doing, home service or whatever. And that part of it is just, they don't, it's just unknown to them. They're kind of, I don't know about doing this. I don't know. I don't know the first thing. But yeah, I don't really know a lot about marketing, how to get customers. And back then it was a little tricky because there just wasn't. I tried a lot of things too that just didn't work.
So was it word of mouth? 15 years ago, it eventually turned into something. So did it start off family and friends, and then it just grew to something bigger?
I did, and I was even reaching out, like cold calling. Like I would email businesses. I would just email businesses. Hey,
I guess that
do you
did
have
used
a
to
cleaner?
work at some point.
Yeah, and then I would go around, pass out flyers, hang up business cards in restaurants, bulletin boards, anywhere I could find a bulletin board.
And did that just slowly work? Did it get traction right away? Going and doing that, was it discouraging at times? What was that process like?
It was a little discouraging. Yeah. One thing I did was this online thing called Living Social. It's like Groupon.
Okay.
It was the competitor to Groupon.
The 15 years ago version of Groupon.
Yes. And so I did so many hours of cleaning for the super cheap price, basically just losing money doing these deals. And I did gain a few recurring clients out of that.
Yeah, that's smart. Those early phases, we when I look back at how we started things, mainly it was networking, right? And then we would meet these people that, hey, great, like we love like what you do. We looked at your stuff. We've got $50. Like, what kind of videos? And I'm just like, okay, we're clearly not communicating our brand properly to you. Like, we can't do videos for that price. But I would meet so many of these people that were just out of our, we were out of their price range, but they really genuinely could have used our services. And so we had to kind of look for these creative ways to, like you said, do these kind of lower price things that you might be losing a little bit of money, but we'd find these creative ways to work with enough people to where some of them would turn around and go, okay, I've seen the product. I actually am willing to pay. And in doing so, I'm protecting my brand because I'm not saying, hey, we're going to be this kind of company that offers services for, $100, a couple $100. I believe I'm this kind of video production company, and I want to maintain that. And those creative outlets that we did in those early days were some of those, I don't know, some of the most enjoyable parts about being an entrepreneur are those early days when you kind of have to struggle through those times. So when you finally did get some traction, what were like some of the next steps you took? What were some of the phases, I guess, of your business that you noticed in those early days that it kind of changed from I'm just throwing up flyers and cold calling to now things are a little more sustainable?
So I was approached by a company that was doing websites.
Okay.
So the owner called me.
And 15 years ago, so this is
Yeah.
like, we're going to plug into this potato, and then the website's going to...
I did a DIY website, and I was just kind of doing, I can't even remember what website I used. And
Wix?
I have used Wix.
Was Wix
yeah.
around 15 years ago?
I've
Hey,
used-
fact check that.
And so he said, I'll build you a website. I said, I don't have any money to give you. He said, that's okay. You can, we'll work out a deal.
Man, I wish I could find guys
when you
like
get
that.
new clients, you can give me a percentage. I think some type of percentage or some kind of deal like that. So he made me a really great looking website. So then we had branding and business cards and everything, and we even did a promo where we had a videographer make a video and share your clean and win free house cleaning for a year.
Man.
And then that was when QR codes were first started. Like
Really?
That was like people.
I would have not thought QR codes. I feel like that was
I think it was just invented or something. I don't know because
This
nobody
is a
used it
QR
and we
code.
had barely nobody. It was a great contest, but not much going on with it.
Yeah, didn't yield a whole lot.
No.
Did you ever trade services? Has that ever been something?
Absolutely.
I feel like that's one of the biggest things that people that aren't in the entrepreneur world realize, like how often, because we do it a lot, and every time I say it, people outside are like, that sounds nasty, what are you doing? I'm like, no, trading service, we do it all the time. It's just a way that you can. What were some of the examples you had of trading services?
So a print company, so I would get my business cards, flyers, whatever, door hangers, and we were cleaning their office. And
That's
then
awesome.
I also got a perforated sticker for the back of my windshield.
Okay.
It
So
looked awesome.
branding and marketing material. It sounds like you
Yes.
and in such what an easy way. I feel like for you to just, everybody could use cleaning, or either A, is paying somebody else or is doing it themselves. And if you offered them, hey, don't pay that person this month or the next few months, or you don't have to do it yourself, is always going to be an appealing thing for somebody to hear.
Yes, and my favorite is a spa owner. So free massages. Well, not free, but like trading.
He's laughing over there because that's the exact same thing that I've done. I've done them for like 2 years now. And usually, when I was a solopreneur, it was all for personal gain. I would just be like, hey, you know what? I want to learn how to box, and I'd just go find the best boxing gym in Charlotte and be like, you guys have a really good website, but you could use some videos. Okay, all right. Like, just train me for a year. And you just realize how much fun it is to be able to say, hey, I've got something of value to offer somebody. There's valuable things that they might have to offer me. And it's just a different way of exchanging things, and something that you don't really have access to if you don't have a company, have something of value to offer people. And I think that's one of the coolest parts about being an entrepreneur. All right, so we're just kind of following that line, that transition from how you started things to where you're getting now. What has been one of the most enjoyable parts about? I'll ask one question first about doing what you're doing with cleaning and residential commercial cleaning, and then afterwards, I want you to tell me what your favorite part about the entrepreneurial lifestyle, just owning your own company, is like. So first off, what do you love most about what you do?
Helping people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And is there a specific way you find yourself doing what you're doing now that you feel like you couldn't serve in a different way?
I'm not sure. Rephrase the question.
So doing what you're doing now with cleaning, residential commercial cleaning, do you feel like that's helping people in a specific way that you couldn't necessarily be meeting that need in a different service? Like thinking about the other options you had of living and of working. Is there a specific type of service that this provides that you're like, man, I really love that aspect of it?
There are other things, sure, but it's not just helping the client. it's also helping my employees. Yes. So I get to see it from both sides, right? I'm helping other women earn income. And that is just amazing. Like that's an honor. Like, wow. It's kind of sometimes it's like, wow, it's a pressure, right? I got to go find these jobs for them and keep them busy, get them paychecks. So it's both sides. And then I see I love the busy moms because I've felt that, right? And so they come home and the house is clean and they can relax. Oh, okay. They got
awesome.
all, so, and then also the cancer patients that we do free cleanings for. They
Oh,
can
wow.
come home and just worry about their healing. They focus on, okay, I'm focusing on my healing journey, not sitting here looking around at this dust and this dirt and whatever. They can just relax in a clean home.
That's awesome. So we'll expound on that and maybe some more elements for me. So there are other cleaning companies out here doing similar things, I'm sure. But what are ways that you would say that you're more unique? What are some of the things that make you guys stand out separate from these other cleaning companies?
For me, it's about relationships. And I'm on a lot of Facebook groups for cleaning business owners. So I see how a lot of the bigger companies are run. Through these groups, I'm hearing stories and, okay, this is how a lot of them are doing it is, just solely booking over the phone or internet, no contact kind of thing. I will offer a free in-home estimate and come meet with them so they can meet the owner of the company. I'm very involved in the day-to-day operations. So that, to me, that building of the relationships with my clients and making sure they're getting what they need and communication is on point. They're not just a number to us. They're very special.
So for you, I'm thinking about how to phrase this question. So you've worked with a lot of different people, and in the beginning phases, marketing looked a certain way. We talked about that. How has marketing changed for you guys to kind of where you're at right now? Like, what is your prime source of marketing for your company now?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it through groups? Are you doing ads? Like, kind of expound on that a little bit. How are you utilizing Facebook?
I do not spend money on advertising.
Okay. How does that work?
I use Facebook community groups. And you can post in a lot of them on certain days. You have to follow the rules. And just posting information like about our company and what we're doing and trying to keep it a little interesting.
Yeah.
Not just, hey, look, do you want your house cleaned? Try to tell a story of who we are and what we're doing in the community. And people respond very well to that. And being consistent with it, that's very important, being consistent. You
Right.
can't just post in a community group one or two times and think that the calls are going to flow in.
You've got to become a part of it.
Yes. And then there's lots of mom groups. So I'm in the mom groups and my clients are in there.
Been trying to break into there for years. They don't let me in.
So yeah, they gotta love the mom groups.
Yeah.
Yes. The marketing. I have tried so many different ads, paper ads, different. I don't know, golf. What are those things called? The golf course.
The scorecards.
Scorecard ads.
Oh, wow.
All sorts of different things that we've done, spent money on. Google ads. I've spent thousands on Google ads. Facebook's where it's at for us.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the most interesting parts about business ownership, but marketing specifically, is that it does look different for everybody. I mean, for some people, especially that are, involved in the trades or that are doing, B2C instead of B2B, their marketing looks completely different. And it sounds like you've really found that with Facebook. And it's not to say that Google ads can't work for anybody, but that clearly you've seen a bigger increase in taking these avenues in Facebook than you have in Google. And I just think that's one of the coolest parts about marketing. So let me ask you, do you have any, and if it's okay if you don't have off the top of your head, but in your time of, how long have you been doing this?
14 years.
14 years. So in the 14 years that you've owned this company, do you have any wild stories? Do you have any stories of either, whether it's cleaning or just kind of the life of being an entrepreneur? Like, have there been any just, this is a crazy moment and I never thought I'd be here?
Lots of crazy stories.
Yeah, lots. Okay.
I don't clean and tell.
Okay.
So I'm sorry.
Okay. So this is like specifically about like the house you went to clean and you were like, oh no, like there's a dead body. I can't tell anybody about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
No dead bodies.
Okay. No dead bodies. That's okay. All right. Sometimes we like to get some juicy intel about that one, but that's okay.
Some juicy things with employees too.
Oh yeah. We're a video production company. We've been asked some wild things. I totally get it.
And you know what? It's okay. I feel like I can talk about it because, hey, I learned some things early on, and now it's made me a better leader because I can,
and maybe somebody hearing the story benefits them because they get to hear about how that's all done. So.
Yep, I didn't screen people in the beginning. I didn't really think about, okay, well, I need to check references on everybody, do background checks, drug testing. I do drug testing now on everybody. So there's been a few. I had one girl say, okay, well, I can't get into this house. I'll just climb in through the window. I said, nope, do not do that. Please don't do that. Let's see. Yeah, I had a girl early on. I don't know if she stole something, but I think she did.
Man,
I don't have, I didn't catch her, but it was very suspicious. Of course, I immediately let her go.
Okay, I was going to say.
But I had no idea how to handle that. That was very beginning when I very first started. I did replace the item, for the client. I bought her a new one right away, but it was a very eye-opening experience. And I'm glad it happened because it happened in the beginning, and then I could say, okay, what do I need to do in the future to be better?
Sure. Well, what was that first step into? Because it's very different being a solopreneur and then managing people, right? Like that step, I think a lot of people don't know. They're like, oh, you own a company, like you must just have a lot of people that work for you. I'm like, well, for some people, maybe it starts out that way. But for a lot of us, it's you start off your company and then slowly you get to the point where like, I need to hire more hands. And then that's a whole nother learning curve. What was that like for you? Like, what is some advice you could give somebody as far as like that transition? Like, what did that look like for you? And what were some of the things you didn't expect?
Yeah, it was many years of headaches, right? My advice would be get a coach. There are so many good ones out there. You can find them online. Facebook groups are free if you can't afford it. Join whatever industry you're in. There's a Facebook group for it, I promise. So get some help. Get some help from other business owners, someone in your industry. Get some help. I was kind of doing it on my own back then.
Yeah.
I have a coach now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We do private coaching. And she owns a maid company up in Massachusetts. So.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we're effectively trying to accomplish some of that now with people that are listening and watching. Hopefully they get to take some value from this. So for you, if you were to talk to somebody maybe that's in your industry, but maybe not, that's just starting their own company, what is some advice that you would give them, things that you've learned along the way?
Well, on pricing, number one, price for the future. If you don't have an employee yet, but you're going to, and that's your goal, then factor that into your cost. And adjust your pricing accordingly. Don't start out just giving your services away. Just imagine that you're paying somebody, right? Factor that into your overhead. So that's number one. Don't, keep your prices where they need to be to make a profit. And yeah, don't spend a lot of money on certain things. Like you may not need an office right away or ever. You may not need certain things. You may not need a fleet of company cars. There are things, don't look at other companies you don't know what their profit margins are. You may see them with a fleet of cars, a big fancy office. Don't think you need all those things. Just focus on the product and making your brand stand out, and focus on doing the best, giving the best value that you can give to the client. Be the best that you can be.
That was one of the harder phases for us. I mean, at the beginning, $200 looked a lot better than sitting around playing Fortnite. And so I was just like, I could just take all these lower jobs, but it's like you said, it's about maintaining your brand and saying, this is the company I want to be. This is what I think I can value myself at. And especially in those early days, it's like, well, either I'm going to make the pennies that this person's offering me or I'm going to make nothing. And I have to somehow hold on to that. But it really is something that pays off, because I've even had situations where those people that have said, yeah, we can't do that price, have come back, 4 years later and be like, hey, do you remember me? I asked you if you could do a video for $300 and you laughed at me. He's like, well, now we're ready to do a real video. And we closed a deal with them for, several $1,000s. And it was because I was able to maintain that integrity and say, hey, no, this is the company I think I'm going to be. And at the time, it's exactly what I did. I went home and played Fortnite, and I didn't really have any other work. But I think that's such an important point that you brought up there. Gloria, thank you so much for just coming on the show. We loved hearing from you. Hopefully, if you're listening in, you got some value out of hearing Gloria's story and just the things that she had to go through in her company. Gloria, tell us where we can find you if people wanted to reach out and either contact you or get in touch with your services.
agreenerclean.net, facebook.com/agreenerclean.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And for us, you can find us on YouTube, on Spotify, and on Facebook. The links will be here below. We thank you for listening in. And until next time, this is the Chapter 1 podcast.